Looking for a fast-charging, ultra-responsive stylus for your iPad? Meet the 2X Fast Charge Active Stylus Pen, designed for 2018 to 2025 Apple iPads. Take your creativity and productivity to the next level. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Chelsea Flower Show blames legislative black hole for delaying Peat-Free promise. Chelsea Flower Show organizers have rode back on a pledge to make the event peat-free by the end of this year, blaming a legislative black hole on the issue. The Royal Horticultural Society, RHS, committed in 2021 to end the use of peat in all its operations by the end of 2025, including all plants at the charity's flower shows. But the RHS has now said it is making concessions to growers exhibiting at its flower shows, including its flagship event at the Royal Hospital Chelsea in London, in the face of challenges in the transition to peat-free plants. In 2026, 40% of nurseries exhibiting in the floral marquee at RHS shows will be allowed to sell peat starter plants, which started life grown in a small plug containing peat and were then grown on peat-free. The concession, which applies for nurseries that are making the transition to peat-free plants, will last until 2028, the RHS said. The charity is blaming a lack of government legislation banning peat, little clarity over what peat-free means, and complex supply chains in which many young plants grown in peat are sourced from abroad for the delay. Environmental campaigners have long called for laws to end sales of peat for horticulture, to restore peatlands, which in the UK form a key carbon store, provide habitat to threatened wildlife, filter water and prevent flooding, something the RHS endorses. The RHS says the horticultural industry has made great headway in the transition away from peat, and the charity itself has invested £2.5 million into research into peat-free alternatives, but warns it can't steer this ship alone. It said the industry is reliant on the 60% of young plants, predominantly started off in peat, which are imported, mainly from the Netherlands. And with no government legislation on peat imports and complex supply chains, plant nurseries remain dependent on these lines as the UK transitions to peat-free, the charity said. It also warns that the government has not identified what peat-free actually means, as there are plants in the supply chain which have been growing for several years and which started off in peat. RHS Director General Claire Matterson said, "Every decision we make is about growing an environmentally sustainable industry and maintaining our position as world leader in peat-free horticulture. However, without any government legislation on banning peat, it's not a level playing field for growers leading the charge, and the RHS, as a charity, can't steer this ship alone. Despite the lack of legislation, we along with the industry have made great headway, but it's disappointing with so much effort, investment, and trailblazing work we've had to make this decision today. We use your sign-up to provide content in ways you've consented to and to improve our understanding of you. This may include adverts from us and third parties based on our understanding. You can unsubscribe at any time. Read our privacy policy. While some nurseries have excelled at going peat-free, it would be damaging not to support the nurseries still making huge investment in their transition to be peat-free." She added, "We're an island here with no legislation on peat, little funding for research or knowledge transfer, and not enough support for our voluntary peat-free ambitions. We need government to step in and see UK horticulture continue to lead the way transitioning to become peat-free." An Environment Department, DEFRA spokesperson said, "We are committed to protecting our nature-rich habitats. That's why we're investing £400 million for tree planting and peatland restoration. We are also looking at next steps for measures to ban horticultural peat. Meanwhile, a ban preventing the burning of heather and other vegetation across swathes of peatland will be expanded under government plans." The Environment Department, DEFRA, said it will consult on increasing the protected area from 220,000 to more than 368,000 hectares of England's deep peat, an area equivalent to the size of London, Manchester, and the West Midlands put together. This means the ban would apply to more than half of the country's 677,250 hectares of blanket bog, including the entire area of upland deep peat. Any burning would need to be done under strict license, issued where there is a clear need, such as reducing wildfire risk, the government said. As vital carbon sinks, healthy peatlands can help tackle climate change, reduce flood risk, improve water quality, and support rare wildlife, including the golden plover, curlews, and 25 species of dragonflies. But 80% of England's peatlands are degraded, while large-scale burning of its vegetation causes the release of harmful pollutants into the air.